Think she's hiding something? The truth is, women who cheat always slip up when asked the right questions. These aren't random. These are psychological traps that expose lies instantly. In this video, I'll reveal 6 powerful questions that no cheating woman can answer without giving herself away. Before we start, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. Let's see how far this brotherhood goes. 1. What's your exact timeline? The liar's labyrinth. This question is a masterstroke in exposing deceit because liars notoriously struggle with specifics, especially chronological details. A cheating woman has a general narrative planned. I was at my friend's house. I was working late. But she rarely prepares a precise minute-by-minute breakdown of her fabricated story. When you ask, walk me through your exact timeline from when you left until you got back. What time did you leave? What was the first thing you did? Who was there at that specific moment? What time did you leave that place? Where did you go next? You're not just asking, where were you? You're demanding a detailed, linear account that a fabricated story simply cannot sustain without significant mental strain. This question works due to cognitive load. Telling a lie is far more cognitively demanding than telling the truth. When someone tells the truth, they're simply recalling memories. When they lie, they're inventing, monitoring, and trying to keep their story consistent. Asking for a detailed timeline overwhelms their cognitive resources, making it harder to maintain the deception. They have to invent details, keep track of them, and ensure they don't contradict themselves. There's an absence of real memory. A truthful person can naturally recall granular details, even if they seem insignificant. I stopped for gas at 7:15, then picked up Jane at 7:30. A liar doesn't have these real memories. They will struggle to invent convincing specific times, locations, and actions. Crucially, cheaters avoid timelines to stay safe. Women who are cheating actively avoid creating precise timelines because any exact detail can be disproven. Vague answers provide safety. By forcing them into a timeline, you strip away that safety net. A key tip here is to let silence pressure her after you ask this question. Don't interrupt. Don't fill the void. Just maintain eye contact and wait for her to provide the details. The longer she hesitates, the more ums and ers you hear, and the more she tries to jump around or give generalized answers, the louder her silence speaks. This question is designed to catch her brain, not just her words. Watch for discomfort, shifting eyes, or a sudden urge to change the subject. The more discomfort she displays, the more likely her story is a fabrication. 2. Who was there? The circle of trust or lies. This question is a crucial follow-up to the timeline, designed to anchor her story in verifiable human connections. You need to ask her, who was there with you at specific time-place she mentioned? Give me names. Did anyone else join later? Who left early? This isn't just about names. It's about seeing if she can confidently populate her narrative with real people and sustain the illusion of a normal social interaction. This question works because truthful people give names confidently. If she was truly with friends, she'll rattle off names, even offer anecdotes about them. She might even casually suggest you call them. Oh, you should ask Sarah, she thought it was hilarious. There's no hesitation because it's a genuine memory. In contrast, liars hesitate or get defensive. A liar will stumble. They might use vague terms, just some people, my friends. If they do give names, they might be common ones, Jessica, Mike, that are hard to trace, or specific ones they know you can't easily contact. Perhaps friends who are also involved in covering for her. They might try to avoid naming specific individuals to prevent you from later verifying their story, or to protect the identity of the person she was actually with. The power of this question also lies in the possibility of verification. Even if you don't call her friend right away, the mere threat of verification makes a liar uncomfortable. They know their fabricated story might fall apart under scrutiny. As a pro tip, Once she gives names, or struggles to, make a mental note. Later, when the time is right, you can check for consistency. This doesn't mean immediately calling her friends. It could mean casually bringing up one of the names in a later conversation, or noticing if she avoids talking about that person again. For example, if she claims she spent the evening with Jenny, but then never mentions Jenny again, or avoids topics that would naturally involve Jenny, that's a subtle inconsistency. If she later contradicts herself about who was there, or if the named individuals seem to disappear from her narrative, you have a significant red flag. This question forces her to either commit to a lie with specific details or reveal her discomfort and evasiveness. 3. How did you pay? The forgotten financial details. This might seem like an odd question, almost trivial, but it's incredibly effective because most cheaters forget the small, mundane financial details of their fabricated outings. Their focus is on the grand lie of their whereabouts, not the trivialities of how money was exchanged. You should ask her, "Oh, by the way, how did you pay for that? Did you use your credit card, debit card, or cash? Did you split the bill? Which card was it?" This seemingly innocent line of questioning can trap a liar because these details are typically not part of their pre-planned narrative. This question works because liars often overlook mundane details. When inventing a story, the human brain prioritizes the big picture events, where they were, who they were with. Small logistical details like payment methods are often an afterthought, making them a blind spot for deception. This creates credit card versus cash inconsistencies that can reveal lies. If she claims she paid with cash, but you know she rarely carries cash, that's suspicious. If she says credit card, but you later check a joint statement, if applicable, and see no corresponding transaction, or a different one entirely, that's a clear inconsistency. Credit card and bank statements leave a digital trail that's hard to dispute, providing objective evidence. Ultimately, these small lies can lead to big truths. This question is designed to catch her in a small lie that points to a larger deception. It's unexpected, making it harder for her to invent a quick, consistent answer. Pay attention to her immediate reaction. Does she hesitate, look confused, or try to change the subject? Does she say, "I don't remember," which is unlikely for a recent outing where she presumably made a purchase? A truthful person will recall such a simple detail without much thought. A liar will often stammer, provide a vague answer, or invent a detail that doesn't quite fit the broader context of her financial habits. This question is a subtle but potent trap that can expose significant holes in her story by focusing on the seemingly insignificant. 4. What did you eat? The mundane meal trick. This is another seemingly innocuous question that can be incredibly revealing because it forces a liar to invent mundane, sensory details on the spot. You should ask her, "What did you eat there? What did it taste like? Anything interesting on the menu?" It's a trick that exploits the difference between recalling a real experience and fabricating one, forcing her to paint a picture she hasn't pre-rehearsed. This odd question works effectively because honest answers flow naturally. If she was truly at a restaurant or a friend's house eating, she'll recall details easily. "Oh, I had the pasta. It was a bit too garlicky." Or, "We just ordered pizza, pepperoni and mushroom." These details come from genuine memory, often accompanied by natural sensory descriptions. She might even remember the texture, the temperature, a specific side dish, or a unique dessert. Conversely, liars struggle to invent details on the spot. When inventing a story, people focus on the main events and avoid adding too many complex layers. They don't typically create an entire sensory experience. Asking about food forces her to quickly create details she hasn't thought about. She might give a generic answer, "I had a salad," but struggle to elaborate on ingredients, taste, or texture because those sensory memories simply don't exist for her fabricated experience. If she was at her lover's house, She definitely won't want to describe the meal she shared with him, making this question particularly uncomfortable. The effectiveness of this question is amplified by its unexpected nature. This question is far less common than, "Where were you?" or "Who were you with?" Component placement, making it harder for a cheating partner to have a pre-planned answer. This element of surprise increases the cognitive load and the likelihood of a slip-up. Watch her body language and listen to her tone. Does she seem to be making it up as she goes along? Is she hesitating, looking away, or sounding overly generic? The simpler and more natural her answer, the more likely it is to be true. The more she struggles to invent specific sensory details about her meal, the more likely it is that no such meal in that context took place. This question cleverly uses the trivial to expose the monumental. 5. Can we call her friend's name right now? The loyalty test. This is perhaps the most direct and high-stakes question, serving as the ultimate loyalty test. It's not about gathering more information. It's about observing her immediate, unfiltered reaction to the direct threat of exposure. After she's provided names of friends she was supposedly with, casually but firmly suggest, "Great! I've been meaning to say hi to friend's name. Can we just call her right now and say hello?" This question works because it will induce immediate panic or refusal if she's cheating. Her mind will race through scenarios. Will her friend corroborate the lie? Is her friend even with the other person right now? Is her friend aware of the affair and willing to cover for her? She knows that a phone call could instantly dismantle her entire fabrication. She will almost certainly refuse to make the call. Her refusal won't be a simple no. It will be accompanied by a torrent of over-explaining or anger. "Oh, she's probably busy. It's too late. Her phone died. She'd think it's weird." Or, "Why are you doing this? You clearly don't trust me. This is ridiculous." She might also become instantly angry, accusing you of not trusting her, of being controlling, or of trying to ruin her friendships. This over-explanation and anger are a desperate attempt to create a barrier and make you back down. This question presents a direct threat to her deception by bringing in an independent, verifiable source. She knows she cannot control what her friend might say, or if the friend might even be with the person she's actually with. The element of surprise, combined with the immediate risk, is a powerful trigger for a guilty party. The key here is to remain calm and observant. Your composure highlights her panic. The more she panics, makes excuses, or lashes out, the clearer the red flag becomes. A truthful person would either say, "Sure, let me text her first to see if she's free," or might even hand you the phone. A cheating woman will do everything in her power to prevent that call from happening, and her frantic efforts to stop it are a loud confession in themselves. 6. Would you take a polygraph? The psychological hammer. This question is a psychological weapon, not a literal one. You're not actually giving her a polygraph test, you're simply asking the question and observing her behavior, tone, and excuses in response to the suggestion. You should say, "I'm feeling really confused and I want to clear the air. Would you be willing to take a polygraph test to put my mind at ease?" This question works due to the sheer threat of exposure. Even if polygraphs aren't 100% accurate or admissible in court, the general public perception is that they detect lies. The mere suggestion of a polygraph creates an immense psychological pressure for someone who is lying. They instantly feel the weight of potential exposure, fearing that a machine will expose their deepest secret. Liars reveal themselves in their response. A truthful person, even if initially offended by the suggestion, would likely respond with genuine indignation, or perhaps a calm, "I don't like that," you'd even ask. "But if it truly helps you trust me, I would consider it after we talk more." A liar, however, will almost certainly refuse immediately and vehemently. You must watch her body language, tone, and excuses carefully. In terms of body language, look for fidgeting, shifting eye contact, crossing arms, or a sudden change in posture that signals discomfort or defensiveness. Listen to her tone. It might be filled with anger, sarcasm, defensiveness, or a forced, unnatural laugh. As for excuses, she'll produce a rapid-fire list of reasons why she can't or won't take one. They're not accurate. It's an invasion of privacy. You clearly don't trust me. This is ridiculous, I'm not doing it. Her excuses will focus on discrediting the test or turning the blame back on you, trying to make your request the problem, not her potential infidelity. This question is designed to gauge her reaction, not necessarily to get her to agree to a test. Her immediate refusal, combined with defensive behavior and a litany of excuses, speaks volumes. It's a powerful final question in your arsenal, because it leaves her with very little room to maneuver without exposing her guilt. It forces her to either demonstrate genuine willingness to prove her honesty or to reveal the depth of her deception through her panicked refusal. If she struggles significantly with more than two of these questions, showing hesitation, defensiveness, vagueness, or outright refusal, then you already have your answer. These questions are designed to bypass her practiced denials and tap into the physiological and psychological tells of deception. They are not about badgering her, but about creating an environment where the truth, however painful, becomes evident through her reactions rather than her words. The key to successfully using these questions is staying calm and observing. Your power lies not in anger or accusation, but in your ability to remain composed, ask the right questions, and keenly observe her responses, her body language, and her emotional reactions. This detachment gives you the clarity to see the truth without being manipulated by her emotional tactics. Reclaim your control, focus on understanding the reality of your situation, and make decisions from a position of strength, not confusion or doubt. You deserve the truth, and these questions can help you uncover it. Which question do you think is the deadliest for exposing a cheating woman? Please like and subscribe and comment below.